My student tried to destroy my career with a lie until I discovered why she was really desperate. The day Olivia accused me of sexual harassment, I thought my teaching career was over. For 7 years, I built my reputation as a dedicated high school physics teacher. I sponsored the robotics club, wrote college recommendations, and kept my classroom door open during lunch for students needing extra help. Politically wasn't just my job, it was my identity. Olivia had been my star student until midterms, when her perfect grade plummeted to a D. When I asked her to stay after class, she nodded silently, eyes fixed on the floor. What happened? I asked gently. This isn't like you. She mumbled something about being tired, then quickly gathered her things and left. The next morning, my principal and the school district's HR director were waiting in my classroom before first period. We need to discuss a serious allegation, the HR director said, sliding a formal complaint across my desk. A student claims you offered to change her grade in exchange for inappropriate favors. My hands shook as I read Olivia's statement, describing conversations that never happened, texts I never sent, and meetings after school that never occurred. According to her, I'd threatened to ruin her college chances if she didn't comply. This is completely false, I said, my voice barely steady. I never said any of this. The principal looked uncomfortable. We have to investigate all claims. You'll be placed on administrative leave until this is resolved. That night, I barely slept. My wife held me as I cycled between rage, fear, and confusion. Why would Olivia do this? What had I missed? Then I remembered something that might save me 3 years earlier after a colleague was falsely accused of stealing a student's phone. I'd installed a security camera in my classroom, paid for with my own money. The school knew about it. It was registered with security, but most students forgot it was there. The next morning, I emailed the principal requesting the footage from my interactions with Olivia. The relief on his face was visible when I mentioned the camera. The video clearly showed our conversation, my concern about her grade, her mumbled responses, and her quick exit. It also confirmed I was nowhere near my classroom during the time she claimed we'd had these meetings. When confronted with the evidence, Olivia broke down. Between sobs, she revealed the truth. She'd been selling copies of my old tests to other students for $75 each. When I changed the midterm questions, something I did every semester, her customers failed and demanded refunds she couldn't provide. They said they'd tell everyone I cheated if I didn't get their money back, she whispered. I thought if you were fired or gave a makeup test, it would solve everything. The principal suspended her for 2 weeks and removed her from National Honor Society. Case closed, career saved. I should have felt vindicated, but something still bothered me. Olivia's desperation seemed disproportionate to the situation. A week later, I received an email from her mother requesting a meeting. I almost declined. My trust was shattered, but curiosity won out. Mrs. Chen arrived, clutching a manila envelope. Olivia doesn't know I am here, she began. What she did was unforgivable, but I need you to understand why. She opened the envelope and showed me medical bills totaling over $17,000. Her husband, Olivia's father, had been diagnosed with early onset PRTs. Their insurance had denied coverage for an experimental treatment that was showing promise. Olivia thought she could raise the money by selling test answers, Mrs. Chen explained. It was wrong, but she was desperate to help her father. The next day, I spoke with our guidance counselor about patient assistance programs and community resources. I contacted colleagues at the university where I'd done my graduate work finding a clinical trial Mr. Chen qualified for. When Olivia returned from suspension, I offered her a choice: face additional disciplinary action or complete a restorative justice project. She chose the latter. For the rest of the semester, Olivia created a comprehensive tutoring program for struggling physics students. The students she had sold tests to now received legitimate help. By finals, their grades improved through actual learning rather than cheating. Yesterday was graduation. As Olivia walked across the stage, she paused briefly to handwritten note. You had every reason to hate me, but you taught me that understanding is more powerful than revenge. My dad started the clinical trial last week. Thank you for seeing beyond my worst mistakes. Sometimes the most important lessons we teach have nothing to do with our subject matter, and sometimes understanding the why behind a lie matters more than the lie itself.